Hi, it's Robbin McMahon here. I'm a parenting expert. I'm also the mom to two teenage boys. I am passionate about sharing my expertise in the area of parenting, and I'm a former angry mom. I used to rage at my kids. I used to be so frustrated in my parenting, and my job is to help you through the parenting journey, especially if you have a strong-willed, defiant, high needs child. You're definitely in the right place. In this video, I am going to share with you 4 things that you've been taught about parenting that are flat out wrong. And I'll share with you what to do instead of the things that you've been told to do and really why they don't work. If you're here, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video. My ask is that you subscribe to this channel and you share this video with anybody you know needs to hear it as well. And hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload a video, which is once a week. Now, I want you to know about the work that I do because you might not know who I am and what I do, and the fact that I have helped thousands and thousands and thousands of parents all over the world. I'm the host of the award-winning podcast, Parenting Our Future. And my podcast is in the top 0.5% of all podcasts in the world. And I have amazing guests where I talk about different areas of parenting that affects all of us. And I'm also the author of the book called The Yelling Cure, which you can see the link below if you're interested in my book and resources that go along with it. Now, I also am so proud to say that I am the expert for Newsweek in their Newsweek Expert Forum. So I write articles on parenting. I also weigh in on trending topics and how that relates to parents. Things like the Great Resignation, quiet quitting, and what businesses need to do to help parents cope better in the workplace and give them resources for home life. And I also am part of the international app called Live More, where you can download this app and have resources from experts all around the world for free. And I love this work that I do for Live More as well. So, what I want you to know is that I have helped parents all over the world from different areas with different issues and struggles in their parenting. And so I am so excited to have this channel and this platform to help you in yours, wherever you're from. Welcome. I am thrilled to have you here. All right. So let's first talk about punishments and consequences. We have been told that we need to change our behavior of our children, correct the behavior of our children, and we need to do that with consequences and punishments. The way I see it is it's all punishment. We've just added the word consequence, and that's really semantics. It's really the same thing, if you ask me. And what we do is we suppose that if we have a child with bad behavior, we justify giving them a punishment because, well, there's punishments in life. Yes, there are punishments in life for adults. Children do not have a fully grown brain. They do not have the ability to regulate their emotions, to understand cause and effect, to be able to forecast consequences. And they don't have that part of their brain fully matured and fully grown until they're in their mid 20s. So we have to understand that, yes, there are consequences for adults. For children, what we need to do is we need to teach them. And so when we have consequences, what we're doing is we're really getting our children's attention with pain. And it's almost as though we're saying that treating you badly and correcting you in this way, where I take something that you love away, I talk to you in a voice that has no love in it, that sweet parent that I was moments ago is gone. And now I'm going to speak to you in a way that has zero respect for you, zero understanding, zero acknowledgement of where you might be at in this moment. And I might take away something that you love, or I might hurt you on purpose. How does that make our kids want to trust us? How does that make them a better person? Have you ever asked yourself that? How is doing that really helping them? What we're doing is we're really showing them how powerless they are, completely and totally powerless to change their circumstances. It's also showing them that their words don't matter, that their mistakes are unforgivable sometimes, that they can't even make a mistake. And it absolutely dissolves our connection with them. Because if they can't trust us, if they don't know what's around the corner, if one minute we say yes to something, the next minute we say no to it, that's confusing to them. And so they might say, well, I don't trust you. And in fact, maybe I need to hide when I make a mistake. Maybe I need to lie about it because I just don't know what you're going to do. Are you going to hurt me? Are you going to take away what I love? Are you going to talk to me with no love in your voice and make me feel scared? Are you going to disregard my reasoning and make me feel worthless? And it's confusing to our kids because oftentimes we're taking things away from them that we've said yes to, that we've said, yes, you get to go to that birthday party, or yes, you get to watch TV. But if you displease me in any way, those all of a sudden are going to be taken away. Maybe you have boundaries, maybe you've discussed those things, but oftentimes we haven't. And we say, well, you were rude to me, or you were mean to your brother or your sister, and you can't go to the party anymore. Well, what does that have to do with anything? It's not even related. And what we need to do is we need to look at what behavior is. Behavior is here. And really, what's fueling the behavior underneath it is feelings and needs. Our kids have needs. They have feelings about their needs too, but because they have a growing brain that is evolving every day, they can't often understand their feelings and needs, articulate their feelings and needs, and they don't know how to deal with big emotions or how to actually get their needs met. And they go about doing it in ways that drives us crazy. So what we need to do is understand their feelings and needs and what's going on with them. Because if we were to add a punishment on top, we are that much further away from figuring out what's actually going on with them. And so do you see how punishment doesn't help? And in fact, if you've used punishments over and over and over and over and over again throughout the years that you've been parenting your child, and as a mom with teenagers, I see this every day, you have lost the opportunity to influence your child, to allow them to learn from their mistakes. Instead, we punish them, we take things away from them. And that doesn't really get to the reason why. And I'll tell you, behavior will continue on and continue to morph and change if the feelings and needs are not met. And so all it takes is for you to say, okay, the behavior is here. I'm going to put this aside for a minute. I'm just going to put it over here for a minute. And I'm going to say, hey, how come? What's going on with you? I'm surprised you said it that way. Or you must be really angry to talk to me this way. Oh my goodness. Can we talk about what's going on with you? And then as you talk about it, you bring that back in and you say, okay, next time you're feeling this way, can I ask you to come and talk to me? And look, if you say that, it's going to take many times for them to learn. And it's okay for you to repeat that lesson over and over again because you are teaching your child. It's just a matter of teaching. Don't start to tell yourself, well, they're not going to learn, or they don't want to learn, or they don't want to listen. It's not that, they're learning. Remember, it takes us like 7 or 8 times to see the same commercial to even understand and register what it is they're trying to say and sell us. So think of that in terms of your child. And we have a fully grown brain. They don't. Doesn't that make so much more sense? And doesn't that kind of take the load off? Like I don't have to keep coming up with more egregious punishments and more things to do to my kid to efficiently get their attention and make it sink in. No, I just need to talk to them because I want to hear where they're coming from. I want to hear what's going on with them. And it doesn't mean that they get away with it. It means that, yeah, it is hard and we still need to do that thing. You know, if they don't want to do something, if they're refusing to do something, but talking to your child and finding out what's going on is never going to be wrong. But consequences and punishments, what they do on top of everything that I've just said is the focus ends up being on you and how mean you are, not what they did or should have done instead. So let's put consequences and punishments aside and try connection and conversation and curiosity instead. Now let's talk about timeouts. Have you used timeouts in the past? Tell me in the comments, have you used timeouts? How did they work? Here's the thing. If timeouts worked, Same with punishments and consequences. If they worked, you wouldn't have to keep using them over and over and over again. And the idea that you need to send your child away from you to think about what they've done or to calm down or to just get away from you is not really an effective parenting strategy, because what you're doing, first and foremost, is rejecting your child. And our kids need attachment with us. They need the safety of us and our presence. And when we say, get away from me because your feelings and emotions are too much or not allowed, or your behavior is not okay, and we think that our kids are going to sit in their rooms or on the naughty step and they're going to think about what they've done and what they should do instead, is not going to happen. They don't have the ability to do that. Instead, very much like consequences, they're going to think about how mean you are and maybe start thinking about ways that next time they won't get caught doing that. Or next time they'll do something different, but it'll be more sneaky. What we want to do when our child has big emotions, has big behaviors, is acknowledge that they can't understand them, articulate them, or deal with them. Exactly what I said about punishments and consequences. And so that means that we need to help them. And so instead of a time out, I suggest you use a time in. A time in means that you are saying to your child that it's okay that you have big feelings and big emotions and big behavior sometimes, and that you are still loved and lovable even when you get overwhelmed. And I think that's a really important message. Our kids come fully loaded with big feelings and emotions, and they have to feel their feelings, and they're perfectly comfortable feeling their feelings in front of your mother-in-law, in front of the cashier at the grocery store, and in front of your friends at the park. Wherever it is that you are the most embarrassed, they will do that. And I want you to know that when they have those big emotions, that big behavior, it's not personal. It's not about you. And I'll say that all the time. It's not about you. What your child needs is help regulating themselves, and our kids regulate off of us. And so if we start to get all crazed and yell and get upset and start breathing heavily or breathing like you just need to get over here right now. You need to go and do your thing and you need to go in your timeout. I've had enough and I'm sick of it. It just makes everything worse for your child. And they're so little and we're so big and we're over them and we've got a big scary face and words that sound so unloving and so mean. But what if you said yes? I know it's so hard right now. You are so upset right now. Come sit with me. Come have a cuddle with me. You let all your tears out, lots of tears. You can cry. Sometimes your child won't allow you to touch them. That's okay too. You just sit close to them. You don't have to touch them. If you can, that's great. If the child will allow it, you do that. But if not, you sit close and you let them know, yes, it's okay. And you don't just let them know with your words, you let them know with your entire being and with your energy, the energy of acceptance, that I accept you just as you are, even when you're struggling, even when you've done something wrong, even when you've been naughty, even when you've made a mistake. That is a message that I would like you to think, what would that have felt for you if you got that from your parents? Would that have made you feel entitled? Would that have made you go wild? Would that have made you act in a spoiled way? Probably not at all. It would have made you feel worthy, feel loved, feel safe, that actually I can cry my eyes out even when you said I couldn't have a popsicle and you still love me. You don't tell me to go to my room. You don't shun me. You don't make me go away from you because my behavior is too much for you. No, instead you say, I can stay here with you and be loved and be accepted. There is magic in acceptance, in real acceptance, where you just release any expectations of what this moment should look like. And you just be with your child while they're in this moment. And I want to remind you, I've said this in videos before, that our kids feel their feelings, but they need to feel them all the way through. So think of them like a train. a train that is going through a tunnel, and the tunnel is the emotion that they're feeling. And they need to go through that tunnel and they need to just go all the way through that tunnel to get over it, which is why your child can have a massive meltdown and then be fine like 5 minutes later. They've gone all the way through, but we see this tunnel and we're like, oh, hell no, I am not going through that tunnel. Not only am I not going through that tunnel, I'm going to deny it's there. I'm going to find another way around it. I'm going to bury that tunnel. Or if I do go through it, I'm going to numb myself with lots of things: overwork, exercise, social media, eating, drinking, whatever it is, right? We numb ourselves. And so we're not so fully in touch with our emotions, and that is a big disconnect between our kids and us, is that they are willing to feel their feelings and we are not, because we have emotional regulation. We have that prefrontal cortex fully grown brain. So it's easier for us. So when you can accept that they just need to feel it all the way through, and many times your kids will tell you this, they'll say to you, Mom, Dad, I just need to feel my feelings. It's the truth. Give them the space to do that, and you'll see that the meltdown is way faster. It ends a lot faster. It will not be as intense, and your connection will continue to grow. And it feels good. It feels good to be in connection with your child. It feels so good. It feels like what you always wanted parenting to feel like. So try it. You'll love it. You won't love the meltdown. You won't love the reason why you have to give it time in the first place. I know. And it really does work. And it creates a moment of connection instead of disconnection. And that's what matters. That's what matters. That's why this channel is called Parenting for Connection, because connection really is everything. How often have you used rewards to get your child to comply or do what it is that you're asking? I admit I have used rewards, and every once in a while I do now, and it can be a really slippery slope. We have to be careful when we use rewards, because really what we're saying to our kids is, I don't trust you're going to do the right thing unless there's something on the line for you. And what it does is it gets kids to comply, not because it's the right thing to do. They're complying for external reasons, not intrinsic motivation, which is their own internal motivation to do the right thing. And so if we're dangling a carrot over them at all times, we're saying, not sure that I totally trust you. I better incentivize you to do this so that you'll do it. And again, this is like punishments and consequences where we're saying, yeah, in order to be a good person, I've got to somehow manipulate you. I've got to somehow do something to make you want to comply. And what we're doing is we're not influencing our kids. And if they don't want to do something and we add a reward to it, well, why didn't they want to do that thing? We miss the opportunity to really work it out. And that's important. We need to have conversation with our kids to understand where they're coming from. And also, that little carrot dangling on that stick is manipulation. And what happens is when our kids feel manipulated, in fact, as humans, when we feel coerced or manipulated, what that does is it spikes our counter will. And I talked about counter will in my video on ADHD, ODD, and OCD. And I explained what counter will is it is the will to do the opposite of what somebody is asking us to do when we feel coerced or manipulated or pressured into doing something. And so what we do is the opposite, or we refuse to cooperate because of that manipulation. And so that reward doesn't really work. Now, we can do things that are, look, you've done a hard thing. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate by going out for ice cream. I think we all like to have some celebration of our efforts. And I think that's okay, but be careful when you do that, that it's not a manipulation. And if your child, again, doesn't want to do something, then we just want to ask why. How come? Do I need to do this thing for them? And look, if they want to have certain behaviors or do certain things that gets them closer to a certain goal, that's okay. But to just always use that carrot to get them to do what you want them to do, you've not learned how to influence. You've not learned about your child. You have not had that relationship with your child that's built on that strong foundation of connection. Because when there is connection, our kids want to please us. They want to get along with us. They want to do what we say. They want to listen to us. And so those rewards really do stop us from getting that. And that leads me in to lectures. So lectures are a tough one because we know, and I've said it many times, that we're here to teach our kids what to do, what not to do. And when the behavior doesn't line up with our expectations and what we think that they should do, what do? We talk them to death. Now, I am fully in favor of communication. I love communication. I love conversation, but we talk too much. We talk too much. And let me ask you, the last time you got a lecture or the last time you gave a lecture, did that end up giving you the results that you wanted? Did you change the way you were from a lecture, or did you just sit there and like tune out, roll your eyes, like not want to listen at all? That's what happens. Our kids tune out. It's just too much. It's too much stimulation. It's too many words. Boys especially get overwhelmed by too many words. So, you know what we do instead? We listen more than we talk. It is much more powerful to listen, to solicit ideas and thoughts and ask open-ended questions than it is to lecture. So say things like, tell me more about that. Or, I don't know. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts about that? That surprised me. How come? Really being curious is going to really help your child because one, it shows that you're interested. Two, it shows that you're not judging them. Three, it also shows that their thoughts, words, ideas matter. And that is so huge. Again, I want you to put yourself in your child's self and think of what that would be like if instead of getting lectures, your parents said, hey, tell me more about what you're feeling. Tell me more about why you felt the need to say that or why you got so angry. I'm confused about why, and I'd love to know what's going on. And you do it without judgment. And so with the removal of a lecture and talking less and listening more, you really do have to listen. And one tip on how to listen is to repeat back what you heard them say. So no more lectures. You want to talk less, listen more, and then repeat back what you heard them say. It is going to revolutionize the way you communicate with your child, even if you just do that last one, just to listen and repeat back what you heard your child say. In fact, that's one of the first lessons that I teach my clients is exactly how to listen, because that shows your child that you get them. That feels like love. In fact, it is love. And that is a powerful gift to give your child. What would it mean to you if your parents, as a child, or even now in your adult self, just listened to you without trying to change your point of view, without trying to argue with you, without judging you, without comparing you, and just listen to you? And then maybe if they didn't understand, they said, tell me more. Okay, so what I hear you saying is this. Okay, gotcha. Thanks for telling me. Thanks for sharing with me. It's great. It creates beautiful connection. And that's what this is all about. So I really encourage you to give that a try. Now, I want to tell you about something. I encourage everybody who is watching this video to book a call with me because I am here for you. And I know no matter what, there is no one size that fits all for any course, especially because I deal with kids that are neurodiverse and parents of kids that are neurodiverse, that have extra needs, that are strong-willed, that are defiant. And those kids are so tough to parent. And when I talk to you, I am talking to you to support you. And also, I have a program that I talk about that is invite only, that is for parents just like you who have these difficult kids And my program is for life, which means that if you are struggling now, I will help you all the way along your journey. So if that's something that sounds like you'd like, where I will help you not just with a course, but with multiple weekly live sessions where we get to talk just like this, and you can get help with your unique problems and situations and things that you just don't know what to say to your kids. You don't know what to do. When they do things, you go blank. That's what I'm here to help you with. And I'm here to help you all along the way to help you deal with all of the different areas in parenting that are frustrating you, that are unique to your family. Whether you have one child or you have 6 kids, I will help you. And I've worked with parents with that many and more. So I really do want to talk to you. And I would love to have you be a part of my program. But of course, I want to make sure I'm a fit for you and you're a fit for the program. So please book a call with me. Let's talk about what you're struggling with. There is no criticism. There is no shame. There is no judgment. I know what it's like. Remember, I come from being a really angry mom. I know what it's like to struggle. And I want that to end for everybody because this is the most important job we do. And it's the job we do, and we don't really know how to do it. We really don't. And why should we? There are so many complicated things in parenting that we don't know about, like developmental stages, brain science. What is really happening when your child has a meltdown? What do they really need? Why they won't go to bed? All sorts of things. And so my job is to help you through all of those different areas of your parenting. So book a call with me. The link is below. Next, just subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel. Please share this video with somebody who you know will appreciate this. Don't forget to comment below on whether or not you do timeouts, and if you have done timeouts, how that's worked for you. And thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being the kind of parent that wants to do this differently and recognizes that there is a better way. There's a different way. And I just want to thank you for investing your time in this video with this channel. Don't forget to give it a like and hit that bell so you're notified the next time a video comes up, and watch this video next. You're going to want to watch this video because when I said that our kids start to come up with lies and ways of deceiving us if we've used punishments and consequences or timeouts in the past, then you're going to want to know why your kids are lying and how to stop. Thanks for watching.